Welcome to another episode of Barman Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Dick Tracy vs. Cueball from 1946, which I got in my Legendary Detectives collection, so this is the third week in a row we're hitting this one up. Slowly working my way through it. But yeah, with this film, we're in more standard, criminal proceedings, I suppose. Instead of having a paralysis gas weapon, we have a leather strap and some guns. Though mostly people are killed in this movie by being strangled to death by Cueball, who sounds like a Pokemon trainer. I mean, let's face it, I still remember the Gen 1 games you could face off against Cueballs, which was the name for bikers that were bald. And they also appear in the Gen 3 remakes of the first Gen games. Don't ask me why I remember that, but let's face it, it's one of the few times I remember Cueball being a term used for anybody, but yeah. That's, our main criminal's go-to nickname / alias. He's like, I'm Cueball. And of course he's bald, obviously. Why else would he be called Cueball, But as for the crime itself, well, Cueball gets hired by some people to steal some ice / rocks, diamonds, for those that don't know some of the other slang terms for them. And the diamonds themselves were insured for about $300,000, and the people hiring him were going to pay him $10,000 to do the crime. And things don't go to plan, because Cueball ends up killing the guy that's, carrying the diamonds, because the guy that, wants to have them stolen also was also the boss of the guy that's delivering them. So yes, he was having someone steal from him, effectively. So I'm guessing there was a plan for some fraud in there, because let's face it, if you've insured them up to $300,000 and they get stolen, you're probably going to make a claim on them. And then he's going to have them recut to make them unrecognizable, so people, wouldn't be able to call him out on it when he sold them later for, $100,000 or whatever. So plan to do a little double dipping in there for a big payday. Of course, things don't really work out, because Cueball finds out how valuable the diamonds are and ends up killing his employer when he refuses to, not refuses to pay up, $20,000 for him, because Cueball's like, I'm no chump. If these things are worth $300,000, I want at least 20 grand for their theft. And he eventually realizes, oh shit, Dick Tracy followed this guy here. He might be leading the cops to me. And then murders him because, extreme paranoia is like, oh, I don't believe you at all when you tell me you're not trying to set me up. I already saw one of your other partners, and he's got, no spine whatsoever. He's probably more than willing to sell me out if he thinks things are going down river real fast. So, yeah. He ends up murdering his employer with the same leather strap and just chokes him to death. And, Dick Tracy's partner is, right outside the room, so he hears the guy scream and tries to bash his way in. And when he finally enters, dirty deed's already been done. The guy's dead, and Cueball just knocks him out for the second time in the film, because he already knocked him out previously when Dick Tracy's partner was sent to follow one of the employees for, was it Mr. Price? Yeah, I think it was Price. So yeah, he follows her home, and of course Cueball is hanging around, because Cueball's you always got the criminal hanging around to knock out Dick Tracy's partner at least once or twice in the movie. It seems to be a running joke or something, or a theme. But yeah, Dick Tracy's partners go down. Cueball escapes, steals a car, and of course Dick Tracy tries to chase after him, but his partner ends up crashing the car, because a bit dizzy after being conked in the head. Probably wasn't a good idea to let him drive, to be honest. And then he gets arrested by the cops. Seriously, Dick Tracy's partner has the worst luck. He's like, man, I get conked on the head multiple times in the movie, and I get arrested by the cops for vagrancy and for driving while drunk. This isn't fair. And then Cueball eventually, murders his underground contact / old partner, because she tries to steal the diamonds while he's on the run, because he eventually comes back. He's like, I gotta get the rocks back, because I gotta sell them off to somebody, because I don't want to be left holding that bag, because I try and sell them myself, and people are probably gonna be less than willing to deal with me when they know I'm a multiple time murderer. People aren't, exactly the best moves to deal with a criminal of that caliber, probably, when they want to buy some high-end goods. You're like, oh, great, I gotta make a deal with a guy that's been known to murder people that hire him. And his own partners. Yeah, that's a person I really want to deal with. I'll pass. So, yeah. Of course, Dick Tracy was coming back to interrogate Flora, because he's like, oh, yeah, she definitely was involved, because she's known to hide criminals from the cops and stuff like that. And by the time he gets there, she's dead. In the end, they try to lure Cueball into a trap, along with his other partners in this whole heist gone wrong / bank fraud operation by trying to lure him out by having someone willing to buy the diamonds that's a high-end buyer by using Tess as bait, basically. And of course, she gets caught. Because she doesn't just follow Dick's advice and stay in the hotel. She's like, no, I gotta get involved. I gotta be the lowest lane of this story and get kidnapped. And then, have a guy threaten to strangle me to death. Only for Dick Tracy to show up the last second like he's Superman, chase Cueball off. And of course, Cueball just conveniently runs and then drives to a nearby train yard to start having a shootout with Dick Tracy. And at one point, when he realizes his gun's out of bullet, he tries to get into a car and prepares to strangle him with the strap. But he's pushing some dirt or whatever is on the bottom of the train car out, so Dick knows where he's at. So he's like, "Oh shoot!" He sees where I'm at, and then slams the door, and there he's jumping out the other side, running, even further away. Only he gets his foot caught in the tracks. So by the time Dick catches up to him, it's too late, and he gets run over by a train. That's how the movie. Well, that doesn't end, but. Yeah, it's one of the last things we see outside of, another crime starting off, and Dick Tracy has to leave before he can enjoy his birthday cake. It's like, I'm sorry, honey, but duty calls. She's like, not again. I left the phone off the hook and everything. But, yeah, it's a more enjoyable ride than the last one. Maybe it's just because the weapon of choice is a bit more believable, though. I do wish they didn't just constantly just cut away and we get to hear the victims scream, their last dying scream. It would be nice to see him actually put the choker on, put his strangling device on people. Instead, they just scream real loudly, we can cut away, we never really see it, because usually he's, stalking over towards people, in, at least a few of the murders here. I guess they figured that was too violent for, a Dick Tracy movie. We can leave the bodies and make them bring in the homicide detective, but we can't show the actual murder unless it's a gun death, because Western movies get away with that all the time, so that's fine. Why did I say Westerners? Jeez. But yeah, it was a relatively fun ride. Until next time, then. See ya.